cure has side effects.
Yes, it really, really has. So Dan, it's a pleasure to meet you, and you did a hell of a job.
Oh,
really,
thank you.
it was amazing to see
Thanks.
you. The movie sets the audience on a wrong track and has got a couple of surprising moments. And I thought, I know where the ride is going, but no, I didn't, of course. How much fun is it for you to see the audience suffer and to puzzle over the movie the whole time? You don't know nothing.
Yeah, well, I think it's really exciting in that way, you know. I think, yeah, like even if you've seen the preview for the movie and you think you know what it's about or you think you know what's going to happen, you don't, you know, until the very end. There's a surprise around every corner, and I think that's one thing that's really exciting about it.
And one thing was very interesting to see the original version. You use so much German, and it makes the movie so much creepier. So, what do you think? Is it just like because okay, it's in Switzerland, they speak German, but normally in a US movie you won't expect so much German stuff. So, was it for you even creepy to you? It's a hard language, so let's be honest. It's like ha ha ha.
Yeah.
So, what was it for you just to have so many German stuff in the movie?
Yeah, well, I mean, it helps for someone that doesn't speak German. It helps me with the mystery, you know, because I'm around all these. I'm getting to act with all these German actors, and they're talking German, and I don't know what they're saying or what's going on. So, as Lockhart trying to navigate this place and unfold the mystery, you know, it definitely helps in that way.
Did they tell you what they are talking in German, or was it like sorry, Dane, this has to be a mystery forever?
I think sometimes maybe they told me, but also sometimes, you know, it's just like, you know, Lockhart doesn't know what they're saying, so I'm just not going to ask them what they're saying.
And Cure for Awareness, it deals with so many questions about society. It's full of messages and full of hidden messages and full of stuff. So in what kind of a moment do you think, okay, maybe I have a personal relation because of society stuff, economy stuff. So is there any personal relation where you say, okay, this is a good question, I have to think about it for my life, for my personal life?
Yeah, well, like, look, I don't think I'm really like Lockhart, I'm thankful to say, but, you know, it's important for me personally to take time away from work for myself and for, you know, the things I'm passionate about, and to look at the world around me and see how I can help that, not just pursue, you know, my own power and wealth and all of that. That's important to me. I know I love doing what I do, but when I do it, it's all encompassing, and you know, I'm really in it to win it. So, you know, there were times during this movie where, yeah, I felt like Lockhart, like my entire life was just devoted to my work, and that can be fun and rewarding, especially with what I do. But I think it's a time. You need to be human as well, you know.
And is it for you a compliment if anyone comes to you and says, "Oh, you are so great in bad guys and in the darker characters"? Is it for you a compliment, or do you think, "Hey, sorry, I'm a just handsome guy. I'm just not only a dark person, but I think you're awesome in those dark characters"? So is it for you a compliment, or do you think, "Yes, I'm an actor. Of course, it's just"?
Well, anytime someone's gonna tell me I'm like great in my roles, sure, like that's a compliment. That feels good. You know, I like to think that the people I play, yeah, they all are very complicated, but they're complicated in different ways. And I just like to explore different people and what makes them tick and what makes them work and what drives them forward. And the more complicated they are, the more challenging the job is, and that's what excites me.
And I think it's totally fascinating to see that in the movie everyone is working hard, and for me it was about society getting more successful than yesterday. And do you think we work too much, just in general in life?
Yeah, I think so, you know. I think, you know, I think like Europeans are better about it than Americans. Even making this movie, like when you work in a film in Germany, they make sure they only work certain hours and there's time to see their family and time for personal life. Like when you make a movie in the States, sometimes you're working 16, 18-hour days, and you're really like, you know, sacrificing a lot of yourself personally to do that. And I think there is this work mentality that people have that, yeah, like ultimately, I don't think is going to make you happy as a person.
And there's kind of messages about society, economy, and stuff. Is it easier to put them in a mystery or horror thriller than to have a classic Oscar drama stuff where you have it in front of the people? Or is it just a push in the face? Or is it easier to put it in kind of mystery stuff? Because you can just watch it without any critical stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's easier or harder. I think it's important that movies have a message. You know, I think it's important for me when I'm choosing projects that it has a message that I can get behind, like something I want to talk about. You know, I think it can be like what's cool about this movie is it kind of shocks you and scares you and terrifies you, but then it lingers. You know, like I was saying, The Cure has side effects. Like you will leave this movie and you'll be terrified while you're watching it, but then like you'll feel something festering inside of you afterwards. And I think that's a really interesting, almost you know, subconscious way of dealing with the issues. I love movies that tackle issues head on too, you know, but I think movies should be about something. Movies should have a message. Movies should be, you know, it's a great way of really kind of starting conversations within society.
And what I love about the movie is that the terrifying moments are so beautiful because they look so beautiful. You are not able not to love them. So, and one of my favorite sentences is just in the beginning is only humans are able to feel kind of self-doubt. Is it the right English word? I'm not sure, but if you feel doubt for your own. So, and what do you think is a positive aspect in feeling kind of self-doubt in a relation to yourself? And what's the disadvantage to feel self-doubt? For example, in your work, you say, okay, am I good enough? So what do you think about it?
It's a deep question.
Yes. It's a deep movie.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know like there's a lot of work that I do for this movie. There was a lot of work going into it to make sure that I had as little self-doubt as possible by the time we shot. But also when I read a script, I don't want to read it and say, oh, I could do that. I want to read it and say, I don't know if I could pull that off. Like, I have a lot of self-doubt if I could do that. So when I read Cure for Wellness, it was, you know, oh, I'm in every frame of this movie. Like, this guy is not necessarily a likable guy. Like, he goes through so many things, and it's my responsibility to bring him to life and for the audience to follow me along this journey. I don't know if I will be able to do that. And then what's rewarding is the work that goes into it, so that by the time we arrive to the day, I'm like, you know what, I think we'll be able to pull this off today. I think we'll be able to do it. And that's, you know, I guess where self-doubt can be a good thing. Because if you don't have self-doubt,
Yeah,
that's not good. Yeah. Like, you should be, as a human being, you should be questioning yourself every day and saying, what can make me better? And, you know, how can I grow as a human being? How can I help the world around me? But if you have no self-doubt, I mean, even if you say you have no self-doubt, if you surround yourself by yes men, then you have the sickness. You know, that is the sickness that we talk about in the movie.
Great. A lot of people want to believe things they hope that they are true. So, like in the movie, even if the opposite is reality, and like the quote, you can't unsee the truth. So, where do you find that kind of behavior today?
Well, you know, I think when we made this movie, we didn't know how appropriate the message would be, that as it is right now in the world. You know, I think in America, we have a president now that is kind of just saying untruths all the time as if they're true, and he's surrounded by people that are making him think that they're true. But you know, I think maybe he should see our film. Yeah.
Maybe, yes. Reckon.
I think he watched Finding Dory last night. Yeah. Maybe the next screening can be for A Cure for Wellness. I think he'd get a little more out of it personally than Finding Dory. Yeah.
You should tweet him. Maybe you have a free ticket for him and his family. Now he has to pay. He has to pay. In the movie world right now, there's lots of CGI, and you always wonder, okay, what is real, what is not real? But it seems that in Cure for Wellness, there's just a couple of small CGI elements. So what is real in the movie and on set?
There's a lot in there that's real. Almost everything is on location or on a physical set. There wasn't a lot in green screen, for sure. Some of the eels aren't real.
In the tanks, they're not real?
Not in the isolation tank, they're not real.
Good for you.
You would not. I don't think I would have gotten in that tank. For sure. I at least wouldn't have been able to be as still as I had to be. But in some of the scenes, they're real. That was pretty terrifying.
I think the sets are totally creepy. So, is there any moment during a shooting where you say, okay, it's just sad, or is it just like, okay, this is just a very, very creepy area? Because I think it just looks very creepy. Everything.
Yeah. Well, my job was to believe it was that creepy place, So, I went and looked at some of the sets before we shot in them, and that's when I was like, wow, these sets are cool and incredible and beautiful. But then on the day when I was in there, they were the terrifying place they were supposed to be.
So, and right now you're on a promotion tour for the movie, and lots of people ask many questions. So, is there any question nobody ever asked you, but you would like to answer it? But you say, okay, I have something to tell about the movie, but no one is asking this question, so this would be the moment where you can answer it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I'm saying everything I want to say about it. I don't know that I go into press tours being like, I hope they ask me this question. But it's really exciting because everyone seems to be reacting really positive to it. People seem to be loving it for its originality, and that's what I think. That's what I love about it. I hope that people see it and they're like, wow, this was terrifying, this was exciting, this was so many things, but it was also original. And I think if the world embraces it, it'll give us permission to make more original movies of all different genres, and that's exciting to me.
And in Germany, it's released on a very special weekend. First of all, it's Carnival in Cologne, not so important, it's my hometown. And it's an Oscar season weekend. It's Oscars night on Sunday. So is it just like tradition to watch Oscars? Are you into the award season? Or is it just like, I'm not going to watch it, I'm not nominated?
No, I always watch the Oscars, I always see, I love watching all the movies and watching the Oscars. And yeah, I always tune in for sure.
Thanks a lot, and it was amazing, and thanks for your time.
Thanks.